welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I am giving you a character analysis of Feyre and her friends from the ACOTAR trilogy. It is by Sarah J. Maas, and I believe that she is writing some more for this series. I don't know if it'll really be a series because the ACOTAR trilogy kind of ended well, so I think she's just going to write more books in this world. But anyways, this world is amazing that Sarah J. Maas has created. She also wrote the Throne of Glass series, which is still going on, and I am so excited for the next book. But anyways, writing these character developments kind of helps me write better characters, and maybe it'll help you. Just maybe. I'm not going to say this is like a great sheet I've like written up. I kind of just did this on a whim. I was bored one day at work, and so I started writing this up because I had nothing else to do. And I just kind of rewrote it real fast, and I'm going to read it to you, just how I think these characters developed over time throughout the books. I'm going to start with book 1, then tell you about book 2, and then book 3. If I might write in the description or in the title that this is going to be spoilery, so I'll try to make it as least spoilery as possible if you're planning on maybe reading it one day, but this is more for people who have read it and kind of have an idea of what the characters are and what they went through in their journey. So yeah, let's get started. Thank you again for coming back. I think I said that already, but in my last video, the lighting was awful. So if you've come back, even though you watched that, thank you. The lighting is still awful, but perhaps not quite as bad. Alright, so I'm going to start. In the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses, gosh, this keeps popping off. It does hang down, but it hangs down like way too low, so I want it to be up here. Anyways, I am going to be talking about each character's state of mind, the kindness they show in the book, their bravery, their ability to love, their self-acceptance, and their capability. So I'm starting with Feyre, and then I'll go on to Tamlin and Rhysand, it's Rhysand, I believe, Elaine, and Nesta. If I say any of these names wrong, forgive me. I'm so sorry. I would show you the chart that I wrote up, but it's so messy. My handwriting is horrible, so I'm not doing that. But anyways, with Feyre, her state of mind in the first book, for being a poor orphan girl, not really orphan, but for being a poor girl who has seen horrible things happen to her family, I think her state of mind is pretty great. It's at like a 4. I'm doing a 1 to 5 scale, so I put it at a 4 because it's pretty great. She's really smart, and I think she knows what she's doing for the most part. She might be a little lost in some of her ways, but you know, I think her state of mind is there, and I think if they had continued to be poor, her family, she still would have done okay in life. Her kindness, I feel that she is very kind. It's at a 5 because she is nice to sisters who are completely and utterly ignorant and just cruel to her. I don't understand, especially Nesta, her oldest sister, is just so mean, and I don't get it. I don't know why. Even reading through the last book, I still don't get why she had to be that mean. I understand a little bit that like her character is just that kind of person, but oh my gosh, I would have not been as nice as Feyre was. And then her bravery, I think it is at a 5. If I had done this 1 to 10, obviously it would have been a 10, whatever. It's a 5 because, oh my gosh, she is so brave. She goes to Tamlin's house in the fairy world, even though that is extremely dangerous. Basically, her world is the human world, and they are not enslaved by fairies, but once they were, and fairies are extremely dangerous. They're like super powerful. They're like basically gods compared to these humans. They're so far from what a human is. They're extremely powerful, and still, to save her family, she goes and lives with Tamlin. And she's brave throughout that and smart throughout it. And I think even when she makes mistakes, she still fixes it pretty well. I think for the situation she's in, she does very well. And then her self-acceptance. So, oh wait, no, ability to love first. I think she has it. She loves her sisters and her dad, even if they have let her down many, many times. Um, and I think it's really inspiring that she can love Tamlin, even though he's a horrible monster. You don't really see that too much in the first book. I mean, you do, but you don't. He's not a horrible monster. He does do some really awful, unforgivable things, but she still has feelings for him and in her way does love him. Is that a good thing? Because he's not a good person. He shouldn't like be so attached to someone or in love with someone who's cruel to you. But really, she didn't see a ton of that in the first book, and she was blind to some things. She hadn't never been in these situations before. So I put her ability to love at a 4 because I think she definitely has it. I think it could improve, but I think she has it. And her self-acceptance I put at a 2 because I do not think that she accepts herself nearly as much as she should. I think a lot of the times she doesn't think as highly of herself as she should. I think she would have noticed Tamlin's flaws if she thought better of herself, and maybe noticed some of her sister's flaws if she had thought better of herself. And she also sleeps with a guy who doesn't love her at the beginning of the book. He's just to kind of distract herself, and because she wants something to do. I think she just wants to know what love is like, even if she knows she's not going to get it from this boy. So I think her self-acceptance is pretty low at this point. Her capability, I believe, is a 5. She's able to survive and help her family to survive, who are all older than her, by the way. Her dad did some bad business and now he's poor. So, and their whole family's like starving, and she saves them basically, kind of like Katniss saves her family in the Hunger Games. If you've read that, you probably have. But yeah, she's definitely capable. She is smart when she's with Tamlin. Maybe not as smart as I wish she was, but she's smart, and she was very capable. Even under the mountain, it shows that she's capable. And she did what she did because she was very deeply infatuated with Tamlin. So yeah, and she also cared a lot for the fairies, and it's just her ability to love and help people was very good in this first book. I didn't know if I'd like this character, but by the end of the book, I did. So moving on to Tamlin, this is going to be a long video. I might split it up into 2 because this is going to take a while. So Tamlin, his state of mind, I put it at a 3. I did this because I think his state of mind is okay in the first book. I think he's not thinking as straight as he should. He does care about Feyre's family, and he thinks about them. He helps them to forget what happened to her, even though he didn't have to go back and do that. He didn't have to set their minds at ease, but he did. I think his capability to kind of care for her, even if it wasn't in the best way, I think he cared for her best in this first book than any of the others. So I do think his state of mind is all right. He cares about Lucian. He's taken him in. He understands that people need help and people get in bad situations, and he's willing to help them. But he's also made a lot of bad choices in life, and I think that leaves him maybe not thinking as straight as he should. His family was killed. He helped kill someone else's family. So, I mean, he could do better, a lot better. You don't know all this in the first book, but still, having read all of them, I put it at a 3. His kindness, I put at a 2 because I think he's very indifferent to other fairies, like lesser fairies in this world, and it kind of shows because he's a high fae and he's very humanoid. He looks like a human and he acts like a human. Well, no, he doesn't. He acts like a jerk. But at one point in the book, a fairy is dying, and Feyre is like very upset about this, and he's just kind of like, this happens. And you see in the second book that he's the same way. He's just not very kind to these other people. He thinks he's far above them. And in case you haven't read the book, there are other reasons I think his kindness is so low. but I'll let you figure that out. So his bravery is, I put it at a 4 because I think he showed a lot of bravery to go under the mountain when he didn't have to. He fought off, I think they were called Naga or something. I can't remember now what they're called, but Feyre got attacked and he did fight them and helped her with that. He, yeah, I think his bravery is probably the highest in this book than maybe any of the others. So I put it at a 4 because I think he still has it, even if it's dwindling. Self-love or ability to love. I think he has the ability. He's brave. He does have an okay state of mind. He knows how to be kind, but at the same time he kind of doesn't. He has some kindness, but he really needs to work on it as a person. So I think his ability to love is probably, I put 4, but maybe it's at a 3 because I think he struggles with it a ton. If they had therapy in this world, he would need it. It just really need it. And his family got killed, so it's understandable that his ability to love is not great, but he also doesn't have to be quite as careless with love as he is. So his capability, it's at a 4 because he's capable. He's run the Spring Court where he lives and is basically the lord of. He's run it decently. It's okay. It's not great, but he's able to keep it going, I guess. So he's capable. He can fight. He knew how to kind of ensnare Feyre, so he's somewhat capable. I think it is also dwindling though. Moving on, before we run out of time, I'm definitely just going through the first book. I'm going to split this video up. Don't worry. So, Rhysand. I love him, but in this first book I did not. I thought he was kind of a dick. I think I see now why he acted that way, and I admire it now. But in the first book, I didn't. So his state of mind I thought was like at a 4 because I thought he was a little crazy. His kindness, you do eventually see that it's at a 5. In the first part of the book, I thought his kindness was like at a 2. But as it progresses and you see how he's nice to Feyre, and he doesn't have to be, it just keeps going up, his kindness. So yeah, I think he definitely goes up to a 5. And when you realize why he did this, why he went under the mountain and was basically Amarantha, her like plaything, when you realize why he did that for his family and for his city, you realize that yeah, his kindness is at a 5. So even though you don't see that as much in this book, just having read the others, I know that it's at a 5. And his bravery is at a 5, obviously, because of the same thing. His ability to love, I think it's at a 5. I think he still very much has it. I don't think Amarantha has taken it from him, even though that was kind of her goal. I think his ability to love is still at a 5. Like, I think he is extremely hard to break, and she didn't do it. So his self-acceptance, I think, is at a 4 because obviously being someone's plaything does still take its toll on you. So I feel like he could accept himself a little better. I do feel that his ability to love is at a 5 and self-acceptance at a 4 is kind of weird and maybe doesn't work. But in my mind, it did for this character. And then his capability is at a 5. He knows how to survive basically any situation. So yes. Elaine. Elaine, I think her state of mind is at a 3. I think she's okay, but from reading the other books, I know that hard times take a toll on her. So I put it at a 3. Her kindness is at a 3 because she's kind, but she's not kind because she kind of stands idly by while her older sister just is mean and cruel to Feyre, and she follows along with her older sister. And even if she's not purposely trying to be cruel by doing that, she is indirectly being cruel and mean. So it's at a 3. I don't think she means to be that way though. So her bravery is at a 2. I think she definitely is a scaredy cat in this first book, and she has reason to be. Like, I mean, she is a very weak human in a very scary world. So honestly, Elaine is lots of people. Elaine is me. I would be just like her in this world, um, except less like beautiful in times of struggle. Like they say she's beautiful even though she's like starving and in a really bad world and it's dirty, but she's still beautiful. So um, let me see. Ability to love. I think she has it. It's at a 3 because I think she loves her father and she loves her sisters, but it's just not all there because I don't think all her state of mind is there. I put her state of mind and her ability to love both at 3 because I think she struggles just to accept the world she's in, and it's very harsh on her. So I think she can love, but if her state of mind was better, if her situation was better, I think it would be easier. And she would have shown more love to Feyre, I think, as well. So her self-acceptance. I think she does not accept herself very much, or she wouldn't be quite as skittish and scared as she is. I feel like she would be braver. So it's at a 2 for me. Her capability is, I believe, a 1 because I think she solely depends on her sisters to take care of her. I don't think she really does anything to take care of herself. So yeah, it's kind of sad. I like her as a character. I don't know why. I guess it's just because it's like when you see a child in a book that can't do much for themselves, you want to take care of them and help them. She is better than, I don't want to say better than a child, but I think she's more capable than a child, but she's very, I think, soft, and softness in this world gets snuffed out very quickly. So I'm glad that she had sisters that were stronger and able to help her find strength. So Nesta, the oldest sister, her state of mind is at a 2 because you have to be crazy to be as cruel as you are to your little sister who takes care of you. Like, I mean, I get like your little sister taking care of you is kind of embarrassing, but she could have done something. She could have gone out and hunted, but no, Feyre had to because they were starving. So, yeah, her kindness, I think hard times take more of a toll on her, but just in a different way than they do on Elaine. So her kindness is at a 1, obviously. She made me so mad in this book. I'm glad there's redemption for her in the others, but she made me furious in this book. Her bravery is at a 3 because though she is mean and cruel, she does try to go back for Feyre. She tries to go across the wall to save her, and I think that just shows that she does love Feyre. She just doesn't know how. She doesn't know how to show it. She doesn't know how to love, really. So that goes to ability. What? What? I don't know what you said. I'm sorry. That was my brother, and now Taco's just barking and barking and barking. I hope I can cut this out. If I can't, I am so sorry. Anyways, her ability to love is at a 2. So, self-acceptance is, I believe, a 1. I think she does not accept herself, and her capability is at a 3. So, I'm talking quiet because I think people are coming in. So, anyways, to wrap this up, that was it. I will go on to the second book in another video. I didn't know this would take so long, but thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Tell me what you think about these characters as well.